Hi everyone, we are going to again read the love letter for us from God. Now, as I said from the previous Bible verse, that Bible um, is not just like a reminder, a prophecy, but also this is also about the history of the world. This is the only book that describes where we came from, and then this is the only book that also tells us where we are going to and what is our purpose. Why are we here? So we have to continue reading the Bible because, yeah, some of the people will say, "Yeah, I know about it. I've heard about it," but to have a relationship and then an actual experience with the Bible is different. We may know the Bible from the beginning to the end. The devil knows it too, but he doesn't believe. So it's up to us if we're going to let the words from the scripture have an impact in our lives. Okay, so let's continue. So remember from the previous things that we have read is that Sarah died and Abraham is looking for a burial site for her. So he went to the princes of the land and then asked if they could somehow allow him to buy a piece of land where he could bury his dead. And we know that owning a land where you are a foreigner is like it's like taking one of their possession from their ancestors. So it's very important for them. Owning a land is very important in that place where Abraham was in Canaan. And yeah, so remember, he's been talking to the people who own the land, and then from what we saw, they have a good relationship because right there and then the people from the land wanted to give him a piece of their land. Even Abraham, I mean, even without paying him. And remember, they've been talking in the gates because in the gates or in the square, there's a lot of people who will hear their conversation and their covenant. That it's like they've been buying a land, and unlike now we have to write something. There's a lot of processes, but previously before, you need to talk to the people, and after everything, you just need to verbally agree, and then it was sold. Yeah. So remember, until now, the cave of Machpelah is still there, and we all know that it existed and it's there. It proves that Abraham is true and the Bible is true. Okay, let's continue reading. Genesis 23:14 until 19. Let's see what happened during the dialogue of Abraham and Ephron. So, and Ephron answered Abraham, saying to him, "My Lord, listen to me, that the land is worth 400 shekels of silver. What is that between you and me? So bury your dead." And Abraham listened to Ephron, and Abraham weighed out the silver for Ephron, which he had named in the hearing of the sons of Heth. 400 shekels of silver, currency of merchants. So the field of Ephron, which was in Machpelah, which was before Mamre, the field and the cave, which was in it, and all the trees that were in the field, which were within all the surrounding borders, were deeded to Abraham as a possession in the presence of the sons of Heth, before all who went in at the gate of his city. And after this, Abraham buried Sarah, his wife, in the cave of the field of Machpelah before Mamre, that is Hebron, in the land of Canaan. So the field and the cave that is in it were deeded to Abraham by the sons of Heth as a property for a burial place. Yeah, this time, like a lot of people have been, even my parents are looking for a place where they could live, where they could say that this land, this house is ours. But in reality, we are just passersby in this place. The Lord will provide wherever we go. I have reassured my parents that we should be thankful wherever we are, and the Lord will provide, because since I was young, we've been moving from one place to another, but the Lord has been faithful. He's been providing for us. So yes, we might want to own land, we might want to own a house. There's nothing wrong with that. But let us always remember that all these blessings come from the Lord. See, Abraham, he was not very, he's not so bothered to live in a foreign land where he doesn't own anything, because God instructed him to be there. And see, he's been, I know that in the place where he came from, he's got a lot of possessions, and I know that he has his own land there, but he doesn't bother to go back, but rather he stayed in a place where God instructed him, where he owned nothing, but then someone provided for at least a burial place for them. So let this be a lesson to us. There are things that we might want to have. There are things that we might want to accomplish. But if we are in the presence of the Lord and we are following the will of God, this will not bother us. But then we will be contented wherever we are, even though we don't own anything. So that's it for today. Take care.